Hello and welcome to another episode of Monday BJJ with me, your host, Brian. The first part of this match isn't terribly exciting. I get flipped over and submitted pretty quickly, but after that, I do a much better job and there's a lot of action in the rolling. One of the things I did notice that I've been doing really poorly on is when I go into some guard like that, a spider guard or something, I tend to put my head really far forward and down, and I take a lot of knees to the face, and so that's probably not a good way to use your head. One thing I've been trying a lot more is switching from north-south, and here I tried to lock in some sort of guillotine or choke from the bottom, and it didn't really work out. He was able to switch across and submit me with that choke. Now here, I'm trying sort of the same technique again, really just trying to get his legs up and out of position somehow, and he winds up getting the lasso spider guard on me and getting a really good full extension sweep. But I was able to kind of come back up sideways and kind of turn things to an okay way. So then here I try to get the spider guard on him and I miss it for the most part. I still managed to maintain some connection with him, but he's really kind of putting the screws to me, and he gets this really good choke locked in. And so we start over again, same sort of approach here. I'm trying not to let him lasso me, so I was trying to pull the other arm back out. And then here I tried rotating around, which kind of worked, but his spider still had enough tension on me to get around me. And so here I'm trying to keep my knee in to block him, but he's able to circle around it. I tried the same type of rotation north-south, and he gets around it. And he puts a lot of pressure on me with the knee on belly and rotates around for this really cool armbar take. And so we go into the next round, and now here he's being a little bit more aggressive in forcing the spider guard, and I kind of just rolled over and died. So he kind of let me come back up, which I was really grateful for. Gave me another opportunity to work more of the pass. Here he tries to take me back, and I try to fight it off. I kind of have a grip on one of his lapels and was kind of holding him in place for a little bit until he winds up getting around me. And that was the end of that round. And so here I'm against the instructor, and I do some weird just copying of his movements for no particular reason. And he tries a couple of different throws on me and then pulls guard and sweeps me at the same time, which is the kind of stuff you really love to expect from your instructors. And then here he does a really good arm drag into a takedown, and I included that because I've been trying to practice arm drags and do them better, and so it was really good to get to see him do it. And here he does some knee on belly into knee on back, and then he locks up this lapel and really tightens it up and gives him a back take, and then he suspends me in this terrible choke position from my back and submits me. So from there we move on to another roll, and here I try to go over double butterfly hooks, which was probably a terrible idea, as you can see. And then he gets into the side control. We kind of rolled around just a little bit, which was fun. And so now I'm trying to set up a spider guard, and I don't do the throw quite right, but he kind of helped me see what I could do if I butterflied one of his legs. And then I don't do a super great job of clearing around the guard, and here the way I'm pressuring into him is more over him, and so he's able to get his arms around me. I'm too focused on the choke, and so he's able to roll me over, and now we're back in side control with a lot of pressure from the top. And here he moves to knee on neck for a second just to be kind of funny, and then he apologizes for it. And more big knee on belly. He looks for the mount, and I try to roll him off, and he sets up a lasso here, and that's the end of that round. And then here, another white belt that I roll against pretty frequently. He does a really good throw, and I'm trying to come up onto his back, but I can't quite get my leg over him. his frame's just long enough, and he submits me with an Americana. And then here he goes for another throw, and I'm just trying to maintain good posture and not get thrown. And he's got this really deep hook in with his leg, and then tries to throw me over, and I try to catch a triangle and I miss it. So we're just working on having some kind of guard. And then here I think I have an omoplata on his shoulder, but I can't seem to sit up, and so he kind of rolls over me until he eventually gets out, and then he comes up and gets me in kind of a cradle, and then jumps to the mount, and I roll him back over, but he's got me in guard, and he's really pressing me down into him a lot. So I'm looking for angles of attack, and he pushes me back out and tries to get the triangle. Kind of winds up doing it to a back take because I don't maintain my positioning super well. So he gets a arm bar there. Here I kind of do a very, very poor guard pull and get one kind of spidery looking thing, but my other leg's way out of position. So he winds up taking my back again, and I'm trying to lock onto his head and kind of pull myself out of it, and I kind of wind up coming out. So from there, he's trying to do the same thing, transition to a north-south position, and I think I locked up a choke there. And so that was the end of that round, and now here I am back against the blue belt I was going against earlier, and he tries a guard pull, and so I try to go around it, and he winds up pulling me in, and then he gets this really another really, really cool armbar type setup. And so we go back to sort of this low position. You can see my head's low again, which is just perfect for him to want to set up that triangle. So he nails that out. And here I'm trying to same thing. You'll notice my head's right by his knees, which is not, I wouldn't recommend, super good way to play. It just leaves you open to so many things. And there he comes up underneath my leg and winds up being able to take them out from there and gets a choke. And so we go from there. Same sort of thing. This time my head's up a little bit higher, but my hips are kind of out of position, and he winds up getting underneath my leg again. And so he's not quite in side control yet, and there he is able to switch his hips out and then back into the full side control position and driving his knees in to pressure me and make me want to turn, and gets the seatbelt grip. And here again I try to grab for the head and I miss it, and so we roll a couple times, and he's still managing to maintain really good control of either of my lapels with the seatbelt grip, so I can't really turn out of the choke. And so I fight it for a while longer until he can finally lock up this head and arm and gets me with that. So that was a really good one. So we go from there to another roll, and here he's starting out with this lasso spider, which we've kind of been practicing some, and this was actually the move of the night that we learned, sort of, and he just kind of rolls it in because the time was out, so he didn't pressure it super hard. Here I am back with our instructor, and I see a triangle and I set up for it, but I don't extend my hips to him, I just extend my legs out. So I missed the triangle opportunity, and he pressures me around, and then he kind of walks me through another sweep setup. So he helped me see that, and then he basically kind of sweeps me back and lets me retake them out so I can work some more. I try to set up for a choke, I think maybe an Ezekiel, and I miss it, or at least I don't lock it in super good. He's very good at getting out of my chokes, as you would expect from your instructor. And so here again I get up high, and he kind of just pushes me over by spreading out my legs, so my base is too wide for me to do much. And then here I'm not real sure what I need to do with my legs, and so I just try to get them clear and wind up giving him my back that way. So that's something to think about. maybe just coming straight into a person rather than going away from them, which, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So there he sets up an arm bar on me, and then he comes in inverted, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. So spins the legs around and locks up the triangle on me, and my hands get caught in there trying to block it, so I wind up tapping with my foot. And then I'm back with this white belt guy again, kind of try for an arm drag, and it's not super great, but I'm closer to being on his back, and then he's able to scramble around and turn into me again. So I missed the back take again, and so that puts me on the bottom, and here I'm trying to focus a lot more on keeping my arms in, but obviously still having some trouble with that. And so here he's got me in guard, and I'm pressuring into him, and we're doing some different movements across the mat there. And here he locks up another arm bar on me,